Yes, sir.
Just something you said earlier about, I agree with a lot of what you say about Western politics and the racism that's behind it and stuff like that. But you said something, and if I've got it out of context, I apologise, but you said about hang around a white man long enough and you'll see his, the mask slip. Is that in the sense of like normal white people, for instance, working together, black, white? Or are you saying that all white people are fundamentally racist?
The question from the gentleman to my left, he states in the beginning of his question that he has been listening to what we have to say, and some of it, much of what we say, he agrees with. However, he heard us say something to the effect to the people that they should hang around for a while and they will see the mask of the white man slip. He's asking the question, does that pertain to a specific type of white man, or are we saying in general that white people are inherently evil or something to that effect? I think I've represented his question correctly. It's a very good question. First of all, I would invite you, sir, to do the best you can to have a study of the philosophy and the teachings of the Nation of Islam. Because to do justice to your question, we haven't got that kind of time in terms of how deep such a question is. But what I will say to you is this. What we are taught is that based on the way in which you were made, when I say you, I'm talking about Caucasian people. You are a brand new people to our planet. The black man, the black woman, we are the ancient of days. There is no scholar, no historian, no anthropologist that can give you a birth record for black people. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization. All people come from us. Black is not even a color. It is the base of all colors. Within this, you can take brown, you can take yellow, you can take red, you can take white, all of it. This is dominant according to your own geneticist. People like Mendel's law. Black skin is dominant. Dark eyes are dominant. White skin is recessive. Light eyes are recessive. You can take the recessive from the dominant. You cannot get the dominant from the recessive. Proving scientifically that we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Now, I say that as a foundation for you to understand that you came from us. One of our great scientists 6,000 years ago determined to experiment with something that he found within the black man. And he determined to bring this thing out of the black man in order that we might observe a part of ourselves that we needed to deal with and never allow to dominate our lives. This, believe it or not, this is why I'm telling you to study this, this manifested as the Caucasian white man. The process of making white people was one where lots of lies and murder had to be employed in order to facilitate a process of genetic engineering or grafting from black into white. It took 200 years of that process to produce a brown man, what you might call Japanese or what you might call South Indians. It took another 200 years to produce the yellow man, the Chinese. It finally took another 200 years to produce a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned, Caucasian white man. This white man, he is your ancestor. And this process, in order to bring this process about, the midwives involved in the process over the 600 years, they had to murder the dark-skinned babies that were born, marry the light ones onto the light, keep murdering the black ones, keep marrying the light onto the light, lying to the mothers about what happened to the black ones. The babies said they died, they went to heaven. And all of this stuff went on for 600 years. In the end, we ended up with this very pale Caucasian. As a result of what went into you're making, you have a propensity. You have a leaning towards lying and evil and murder. It is the nature of the person. Black people, our nature is the opposite side. White people have a nature. This is why. If you study your historians, your anthropologists, you will hear them asking the question, why are we the way we are? Why are we so violent? Why? If you study Chinese history, Native American history, Indian history, and they're not even called Indians, white man call them Indians, black history, wherever you study, you will see that white people from Europe went in among these people and destroyed them. Why is it that white people have this propensity to go all around the world and do this to other people of color? This is really, really important. Before and even during you're doing that to us, do you know that in Europe, in Britain, they had 100 years war? 100 years of perpetual warfare. There's not been one day of European history where they've not been at war. Britain, out of the 190 odd countries on the planet, Britain has had conflict with 177 of them. This cannot be coincidence. This has to be a leaning. If you and I drive in a car, and every time you get in the car with me, I'm on my horn at every driver. Get out! What's? And I've got a problem with every driver on the road. And every day you get in the car with me, because we're work colleagues, and I drive you to work. Every day you get in the car with me, I've got a problem with the bus driver. I've got a problem with the guy riding the bicycle. I've got a problem with pedestrians. I've got a problem with other car drivers. At some point, you have to use your intelligence and stop looking at all those other people and take a look at the person you're driving with. Because you, using intelligence, you got to realize the problem is with this person I'm sitting next to. This is the logical deduction. And so, see, based on your question, based on your demeanor, see, I can't judge you as some wicked or horrible person. See, human beings, believe it or not, you've got white people who, despite their nature, they go opposite their nature and they do absolute good. There are many white people like that on the planet. You've got black people. Our nature is righteous. But many of us do evil against our nature. I said at the beginning, you were not here. Jeremy Corbyn, he's a man like that. Jeremy Corbyn, they hate him. They despise him. Why? Because Jeremy Corbyn has got a conscience. Jeremy Corbyn don't just care about white people, he cares about everybody else.
Except the Jews.
And they don't. Shut your mouth, you fool.
Except the Jews.
You fool. You fool. See, we're called anti-Semitic as well.
Spare me.
Let me tell you something. Any person who hates a Jew because they're a Jew, you are looking at a very, very stupid person. We do not hate Jews. In fact, we love and we admire every Jew who is true to the covenant in the scriptures. We respect Christians, we respect Jews, we respect Muslims, we respect religious people who don't just say their religion from their lips, but they carry their religion into practice. In the Bible, there's scripture that says, they say they are Jews. This is the Bible. I didn't write it for this idiot over here. They say they are Jews, but they are not Jews. They are of the synagogue of Satan. So we know that not everyone who claims to be a Jew is a Jew. Not everyone who claims to be good is good. We understand lip service. And so I would say to you, sir, believe me when I say this, I have no intention of labeling you a devil or some wicked person I would say to you, sir, if in your heart you feel and you know that you're a good man, be a good man. You don't have to put on that hat. You walk as a righteous person on the planet, Allah, God will bless you. But what we're talking about when we talk about that mask slipping are these wicked demons, mostly in white skin. They're not all in white skin, some of them blacker than me. But these wicked demons who masquerade as angels of light when in fact they are totally and utterly demonic. That's what we're talking about, and you will see the mask of civility. See, I use the language there. See, they want to give the world the impression that they are so civilized. They speak so nicely. But the mask of civility is slipping and will slip. And the people will see. Because when Tony Blair told this big lie, and by the way, you will notice that Tony Blair has no shame whatsoever. You would think that having been discovered that this was a diabolical lie which has cost the lives of millions of people, not tens of thousands, millions have died as a result of that lie. You see, Tony Blair is so brazen. He comes on the television still talking about foreign policy, still trying to influence governments, still proud after what he did. So this is not the act of a human being. Me guilty of taking one life, I would be so ashamed, much less millions. But this man, I can assure you, he hasn't lost one night's sleep. He didn't get put off his dinner that evening, because this is Satan in human form. This is what you've got to understand. There is no devil under the ground. The devil is walking among us. And human beings, we have to choose whether we're standing with God or whether we're standing with Satan. Thank you very much for your question. And thank you very much for your patience in listening to the answer. Just to say the things I'm saying, the scripture in the Bible comes into effect. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Because you got to understand that your governments are murderous. They are wicked, wicked demons. And this young lady who lost her life as a result of being poisoned by Novichok, they are crying crocodile tears. They don't give a damn about her. They don't give a damn about her life. And you are watching international intrigue being played out in front of your face. And it's all one big game that they're playing with the British people. And I warn you in the name of Allah, be very careful to be once again led down the garden path by these wicked liars who want you to go along with the narrative that Russia is to blame, or that Assad woke up one morning and decided to just start killing his own people, really. Or that Muammar Gaddafi was going to kill his people. Or that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. And we can go on and on and on. All of it. Manipulation and leading the people into a place where not only will the demons suffer divine retribution, but every one of us who thinks we're innocent will have to pay a price, because we went along with it when we should have known better. Because the people are the ones with the real control. Thank you for listening. May Allah bless you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. God is the greatest. Not May, not Trump, only Allah. Thank you.